Welcome back to Let's Play Darkness over Daggerford. Last time we were ambushed on our way to the city. I think we should actually go ahead and get an inn room. Because we took a beating there. Stop into the tavern. Let's see. Tavern Keeper is right here. Fulper hard cheese at your service, like young mistress. Just tell me what you need, and I'll get right on it. Do you rent rooms here, Fulbar? We're practically filled up. Good, mistress. Those merchant caravans usually just stop off for a night or two on their way up to Waterdeep. With the bandits on the trade away, some of these folks have been camping out here the better part of a week. Good for business, but bad for nice folks like yourself trying to find a place to bed down for the night. Luckily for you, a room just opened up after the lady stayed in there, up and left without so much as a word. A shifty character she was, too. What was her name again? Namoka... Anyhow, the room is free if you want it. Just 4 gold pieces. Interested? Yeah, I'll take it. Very well. What else can I do for you? I'm new to town. Maybe you can answer some questions. Drink up, friend. A tavern owner hears all sorts of things when people are in their cups. I might even be inclined to set the room or mill a churn in if you buy one of my special brews. I suppose the more expensive the drink, the more forthcoming you'll be with the information, correct? Aye, you're a bright one, lass. So, what'll it be then? Will you be ordering one of my special brews or sticking to the regular fare? What are your special brews? For beer, we've got Black Grog Ale, fresh in from Waterdeep, and some bitter root beer down from Candlekeep. If hard cider's more your thing, there's a local brew called Kneecracker, which packs a wallop. You've also got a fine selection of wines, including some Guldathan Nectar, some care of our elvish friends in the Well-Death. Let's take a Black Grog Ale. You might be interested in knowing that our Captain Frederick of the militia and that mercenary captain, name of Dretharian, don't exactly see eye to eye. And a bitter root beer. If you'd be thinking of hanging out with them high and mighty folk at the Chateau Elite, you'd best become good friends with the tailor. Only folk dressed to the part of the noble get past the doorman. I think I've drunk my limit. So, a funny thing about Neverwinter Nights is you can just rest anywhere on the floor if you rent a room. Oh, there's an armoire. Ooh, a fluorospar. Yoink. Yeah, you don't interact with the bed, you just hit the rest button. Alright. We're all healed up. Please don't change your tactics. Let's see here. Don't help me if I fail to open a locked door chest. Thank you. That's it. Let's see. I assume unnamed characters don't have anything to say. Oh. Got a herd of cattle that needs tending back on the farm. They can't just keep us locked up in town forever, can they? Right. Let's start talking to named people. Jory Funtalis. Is there something I can do for you? From this elf's elaborate dress and sophisticated manner, you deem him to be some type of bard or a trained thespian. You can tone down the joyous entertainer act for starters. I shall try, madam, although it goes against my nature. Is there anything else I can do for you? Just having a drink and enjoying a bit of lively conversation. Which is what the pub life is for, my friend. Enjoy your time in the Happy Cow. Fulbar here pours an uncommonly good ale. Aye, you won't be disappointed, madam. Just let me know when you need something. I'll do that, Fulbar, thanks. Farmer Rory. Talk to Hevisar, he's our leader here. Why, thank you. I see. My name is Thradra Mayer. Please tell me more. Yes, of course, Mrs. Mayer. To business, then. As I said, I represent the farmers here in the area in an unofficial capacity, although I have their trust and their full agreement for pursuing this course of action. That's right. He speaks for us. I came to Daggerford to petition Frederick in the hope that he may send the militia to help us. Unfortunately, we have not been successful. Typical. Pay your taxes and get nothing in return. Go on. It's unnatural is what it be, my lady. I ain't never seen nothing like it in my days. One voice at a time, please. Yes, thank you, Gazlo. In the sticks, we learn to fend for ourselves. Why, I myself have several times beaten off a pack of hungry wolves intent on feasting, but this is beyond us, and we desperately need help. Well, help doesn't come free these days, Hevisar. Very well, then. We have a deal. A wise decision. I'm concerned that the authorities might be neglecting their duties and feel we should try to help if we can. I'll meet you at the Holdfast Inn in Liam's Hold at the earliest possible convenience. I'll depart as soon as the Daggerford gates are opened. Come, let me mark their location on your map. It's against my religion to refuse the booze. Yes, please. Elf Song Cider. Isn't that the good stuff? This fruity and somewhat flat brew is named after the Elf Song Tavern in Baldur's Gate, where it first served by the current owner, Lady Elendara. The tavern itself is famed for an unusual haunting, a ghostly female voice that is heard from time to time throughout the establishment, and the stuffed baby beholder that hangs over the bar. Certainly these features are of more interest than the distinctly average cider. Ah. Oh, the key is to my room. I was like, wait, why did I get a key? Demetira Landscraper. I don't think I've seen you in the Happy Cow before. Be sure to try Fullbar's Kneecracker cider. It comes highly recommended. Why do they call it Kneecracker? Because if you drink it down too fast, you'll end up on your knees, begging the gods for aid and swearing you'll never touch the stuff again. But don't take my word for it. If you desire something with a real wallop, then Kneecracker will surely do the trick. And you are? Me? Well, I'm Demetira, and I own the Happy Cow, though Fullbar is really the owner in the practical sense. I just keep tabs on expenditures and whatnot. I know the regulars here, and they all know me. There's an old saying about the Happy Cow. If you can't find a friend in this place, you're just not looking hard enough. Words to live by, my friend. And one of the best friends you're ever likely to make is right behind the bar. Fullbar knows more about this town than anyone, and that includes the militia. Buy yourself some Kneecracker or one of his other special brews, and he'll tell you all you need to know about Daggerford. She gives you a sly wink. Thanks. Perhaps I'll go try some now. Let's see. Burnaz Telrot. Would you grant me a few moments of your time? I have a business proposition that may be of interest to you. This halfling's face is almost completely in shadow, hidden within the dark folds of his woolen cloak. Is there some reason you choose to hide your face from view? I am scarred, disfigured. I wish not to speak it further, as it has little bearing on my proposition to you. Well, what's the proposition? Before we continue this line of question, I'd ask that you speak to the bard standing close to Fullbar. Tell him you wish to hear the tale of Paretus the Great. Once you've heard his tale, return to me and I'll reveal my plans to you in full. Very well, I shall hear this bard's tale and return once I do so. I've been told you possess a certain fondness for recounting the tale of Paretus the Great. The name is Jory Fontalis, and it would appear my fame is spreading. Yes, I do have a poem called Paretus the Great that I recite from time to time. Would you like to hear it? Yes, I would, thank you. Paretus the Glorious, his stature quite impervious. Aside a well stood standing thus, without a hint of wariness. Standing full of watchfulness, eldritch sword in readiness, great defender Paretus would save us from the villainous. Bandit struck with heinousness, scales and hides in fearlessness. Fear them not, did Paretus, stepped forward in defense of us. Our caravan in exodus fled the sight so dangerous, while great defender Paretus fought bandits who had ambushed us. The bandits were too numerous. They overwhelmed great Paretus, with wounds to end his mortalness, and knowing of their gustibus, he cast himself into darkness. As a fellow jungler Might I offer a few suggestions to improve the piece? Of course, madam. I'd welcome an honest piece of critique from another practitioner of the art. You work with Joy on tightening up various aspects of the poem. Astonishing! Just a few simple changes and the whole feel of the poem has been altered for the better. Please take this trinket of mine as a gift from one performer to another. Hopefully it will be of use to you in your travels. Farewell, Joy, and good luck with your burgeoning career. Miscellaneous medium. Oh, it's an instrument. Jathar's harp. By playing this masterwork harp, the harpist can envelop all creatures within 10 feet of the harp in an invisibility sphere once per day. Ooh. A stealth mission item. Interesting. Alright, let's talk to Burnus again. You return. I hope you enjoyed the Bard's Tale. Intriguing, was it not? I found the ending a bit puzzling. I'm assuming you're referring to the line, he cast himself into darkness. Yes, the legends claim that to avoid capture and the subsequent defiling of his soon-to-be corpse, Paretus threw himself down the well earlier mentioned in the poem. I actually find this Paretus to be a kindred spirit. He and I both served as caravan guards who came under attack by bandits in the night. I thought you'd recognize the similarities. The tale of Paretus the Great is well known in these parts, and his sword... Ah, now there was a weapon of awesome power indeed. Perhaps it still exists. I suspect the sword, and whatever else Paretus took with him to his grave, might prove extremely lucrative if found. Help me locate Paretus' items, and we'll split the take between us, with you getting the first choice of whatever magic items we find. In case you're wondering, my name is Burnus Telra. I was once an adventurer, much like yourself, and now work towards securing a nest egg to ease myself into retirement. Will you aid me in recovering Paretus' treasure? Yeah, I'll help you secure the lost treasure. Splendid. You've made the right decision, friend. Your next step will involve a trip to the farmlands due west of Daggerford. Once there, you'll find an old abandoned well. I believe it to be the same well mentioned in the Bard's Tale. I shall meet you there, and we shall plan our next move. Make haste, friend, lest others beat us to the punch. Why can't we travel together? It's best if we were not seen leaving town together. Many know of my predilection toward Paretus and the treasure. They may follow in our tracks, and, well, you can discern the rest, I'm sure. I'll meet you at the well, Burnus, as soon as I'm able. But the town gates are closed at the moment, from what I remember being mentioned. So this is all very... Oh. Let's go actually stay the night proper. Alright. So let's go ahead and stop into the Shrine to Shantea. Lizard folk raiders spotted near Gillian's Hill. Maravina. Oh. Marinova. Or Maravina. Blessings of the Green Goddess to be upon you, mercenary. I am Maravina, and this is the Harvest House Daggerfall's Shrine to Shantea. Is my prior occupation so conspicuous? I have sources around town to keep a watch on new arrivals. I drew attention to your trade because I might have an opportunity for one of your unique skills. It involves a grain shortage here in Daggerford. Most of the grain flows into town, care of Ferned Cripp's gristmill. If something slowed down Fern's production, it could lead to a serious hunger crisis, perhaps even wholesale famine. What do you know of this Ferned Cripp? Is he dependable? Usually, yes. However, last time I saw Fern, he was heartbroken due to his true love marrying another. The poor man was inconsolable. I haven't heard from him since. Perhaps I could check in on this Fern and his mill. That would be very kind of you, friend. Thank you. Of course, my services aren't free. As a shrine to the Grain Goddess, we do not carry much wealth in our coffers. However, I think I could spare 100 gold pieces for so grave an investigation. 100 GP will work. That should do nicely. Thank you, Maravina. I'll return once I've met with Fern the Miller. Oh. What do you have as supplies? Leather armor. This is like very ranger-oriented gear, I think. And cloaks and stuff. Don't suppose... Nope, your goddess does not favor the bow. It was worth a try. And the game crashed. Alright. We're back. Oh wait, no, I need to take the quest from Shantaea's shrine. And that'll be really quick. Since I don't have to read it or anything. Just have to make sure that I'm picking the right options. There we go. Okay. So we need a proper dress to get into the Chateau Elite, but I'm not concerned about going in there yet. Let's see what the traders have. Vegetable seller. And fruit seller. Fish seller. Yeah, basic stuff that you would expect from a farmer's market, more or less. I'm going into marked buildings first. Sorcerers Encapsulate. Rylet McGinn. Oh, hello to you. So very nice to make your acquaintance, friend. Do you wish to enter the Sorcerers Encapsulate as a visiting guest? This pale, sickly-looking fellow is obviously enamored of your magical prowess. Oh. What manner of establishment is this? This is the Sorcerers Encapsulate. Others like yourself come to study their art free from outside disturbances. Here, the proper use of magic is taught through practice and scholarship. Would you like to enter our establishment and have a look around for yourself? Are only magic users allowed to enter? Yes, only those with arcane knowledge may pass into our hallowed halls. Not at the moment, perhaps later when I set aside more time for study. Delphin Yellowknife. Greetings to you, madam, and welcome to the Sorcerers Encapsulate. Please excuse me if I seem a bit out of sorts. My name is Delphin, and I've, well, lost a good friend of mine, and it's put me in a black mood, I'm sorry to say. The wizard's eyes well up with tears. Perhaps I could help you search for your friend. No, I'm sorry. I don't have the slightest inkling where to start looking. Well, I'll keep an eye out for this friend of yours and report back to you if something turns up. I say, having no information on, like, who the friend is. Okay, so that's into the basement. That's into the actual school. This is probably going to warrant the start of an episode, at least. Okay. Chateau Elite is there. Let's go to Lathander's Temple. Remember in Neverwinter Nights, the buildings are like... they represent... Liam Sunmist. The blessings of the Morning Lord be upon you, traveler. You stand in Moonglow Tower, our town's hallowed shrine to Lathander. I am Dawnbringer Liam Sunmist. How might I be of assistance? Although the man's smile and tone speak of an ardent willingness to please, his words have the hollow sound of one whose thoughts are miles away. If you don't mind my saying, Dawnbringer Sunmist, you seem a bit distracted. Is there something wrong? Am I so transparent? Yes, my days and nights are troubled by a strange malady that affects farmers to the south. It's progressing through their ranks like a brush fire through dry kindling. Liam's brow furrows into thick cords of distress. What's the nature of the disease? All victims suffer the same symptoms. A brief period of insomnia resulting in extreme fatigue and accompanied by high fever, hot sweats, delusions, and finally death. Do all victims die from the disease? Indeed, every person who has contracted the illness has passed on. Have you any opinions on what it might be? To me, the symptoms point to an outbreak of vampirism. When you examine the symptoms, plus the fact that the graves are all exhumed a few days after burial, well, the case of the malady seems obvious for the cause. Tell me, traveler, would you be interested in investigating this situation for me? My duties here in town preclude my leaving Daggerford for any length of time. Would there be some reward for my aiding you in this task? Of course, traveler. I'll gift you with a favorite of Lathander medallion, which grants you discounts on goods sold in all Lathander temples, and provides a modest protection against the undead. Ooh. Very well. I'll look into this for you, Liam. Good. You should begin your investigation in Gillian's Hill, which lies to the south along the trade way. There's an old healer there named Mabda. Seek her out, as she may be able to provide guidance on how you should proceed. Before you go, a word of caution. There's a young woman in town named Lula who seems quite enamored of the vampire mystique. If she approaches you, I would ask that you do not encourage her unhealthy interest. Yeah, is there anything else I can do for you? What do you have? Prices may be relatively high. Be sure to know the proportion of each transaction is donated to local good causes. So you still sell the typical stuff, the monk stuff. I assume no bows. Yeah, you do have the Shining Light of Lathander, which is a great sword, a +2 great sword with orange light that can cast Searing Light at, say, 5th level spell. You also have Amulet of Natural Armor, Undead Turning, Lesser Amulet of Health, which is immunity to disease and poison, Periapt of Wisdom, Necklace of Prayer Beads, which are a charge healing item, Amulet of Health. The difference between the minor is this also provides immunity from level and ability drain. Daggerford Salvation Ring, +2 versus 8 versus Outsider, +5 versus Fear, +1 versus Fire. Protection +4, Ring of Regeneration. Oh my god! I didn't know 6-digit cost items existed. Fortitude +1, Protection +1. Some interesting stuff here for sure. Golden Chalice of Lathander. Can use Healing Circle level 9 once per day, and Light unlimited times per day. Gem of Brightness. Single use. Charges. Blindness, Deafness, Light, and Sunbeam. Holy Water Healer's Kit, Saint's Blood Pearl. Some stuff that is much too rich for our blood for now. Right. Mariner's Alliance is right across. Let's see. Taffy. Something I can do for you, missus? What door are you guarding, sir? This here door leads to the private meeting room of the Mariners Alliance big bosses. They control shipping permits and keep tabs on all sea-bound trade along the Sword Coast. Interesting. Thanks for the information. No one named here, though, and I don't want to loot a place, especially when people are here. Let's see. Rivergate, Barracks, Chateau Elite, Farmer's Gate, Caravan Gate. Well, let's see. I mean, people were talking about how they're stuck in town, but I don't see an issue with at least trying to leave town. I find it funny how the game doesn't give you a magic weapon if you make a new character. It's like, yeah, you're stuck with whatever you start with as your class. It's locked. Good afternoon, madam. If you want to pass these gates, I'm afraid that'll not be possible. Why are the gates closed? Orders of the captain, madam. You're lucky you entered when you did. If you wish to complain, then I suggest you talk with the captain at the barracks. Okay. Yeah, if things seem a little slow, this is the start of a CRPG campaign, although admittedly a relatively short one. Things pick up a lot once you can, like, for example, leave the starter town and actually start adventuring. Captain Frederick. I'm looking for a way to expand my coffers, Captain. Have you any mercenary work available? I've already met with Hevis, sir. Anything else? I know nothing of wild elves, I'm afraid. I suspect that these wild elves had fallen out of favor with their Cholton neighbors to the south, and after some prolonged conflict decided to vacate the area for greener pastures up north. Their leader is a fierce and beautiful woman named Kylina Moonglow. She's a strong-willed and stubborn woman who feels her people have the right to any lands they lay claim to, even lands belonging to others. Wish for me to parley with this Kylina Moonglow? I wish for you to survey the situation and do whatever you feel is necessary. Of course, I would prefer a non-violent situation, but oftentimes such a result proves difficult. Be aware that these wild elves have launched an embargo of sorts on the local farmers by blocking some of the streams that flow through their lands. Once you've dealt with Kylina, you need to unblock the streams. I shall seek out this Kylina Moonglow at once. Why are the town gates locked? The captain's expression tells you he's displeased with the Baron's latest proclamation. As a visitor to your fair town, I believe I'm entitled to some reason why I must remain in Daggerford. However, my own information on the lockdown is as limited as your own, I'm afraid. Captain Draetharian, whose office is down that hall, is privy to that knowledge. I recommend you speak with him on why the Baron has issued an order. What's the need for 2 militia captains? Alright. What's your opinion of this Captain Draetharian? Captain Frederick's tone, though guarded, has taken on a noticeably harder edge. Since I'm likely to have dealings with Draetharian, it would be helpful to know what manner of man he is. Listen, friend, you seem decent and trustworthy, so I'll put it to you straight. I have nothing against mercenaries. I've served with my sheriff in the past, and find them as handy with a sword and shield as any other trained soldier. But this Draetharian is different. All these secrets and this moving about under the cover of darkness. How can my militia guard and his griffins coordinate our troop movements when we're blindly stepping on each other's toes? The rest of my uneasiness amounts to little more than a feeling. In here, he points to his gut and exhales a deep and audible sigh. Well, I can question this Draetharian for you if you wish. Well, perhaps you could try that. You're new to Daggerford and will be seen as a neutral party. Very well. Try to question Draetharian on why the Baron has ordered a lockdown and report back to me with what you find. I'll do so at once, Captain. Play the spy for Captain Frederick. Off-duty Griffin mercenary. It's a good thing us Griffins showed up in Daggerford when we did. Let's see, those are the bunk rooms. I guess there is a stone wall separating them. Captain Draetharian's inhospitable manner tells you to be quick with your questions. Forgive the disturbance, Captain, but I am a bit curious why I'm unable to leave the town. Your boundless curiosity is none of my concern, citizen. I have little time for such needless prattle. Be gone with you. There's a simple question from someone new to Daggerford. Can I assume you'll not leave until I reveal to you what I know? I'm afraid so, sir. What's so dangerous about this Wickers fellow, Captain? A good question, Thredra. Well, I'll leave you to work, Captain. Captain Draytharian definitely had some interesting things to say on the matter. Yes, I imagined he would. Please share what you've learned with me. Let's see. Draytharian claims a madman named Wickers escaped from the castle dungeons. I know Wickers. He's a bit unruly and unethical for my taste, but he's not one I would count as mad. I wonder what Draytharian's up to. Well, you've certainly been most helpful, friend. I believe it's time I looked into this matter myself. Alright. Sounds like next time on Let's Play Darkness over Daggerford, we're going to be looking for Wickers. See you guys then.